Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems. Home automation, security systems, fire and life safety systems, they do it all, and they do it all well at Safety Systems. If you're building a new office, new restaurant, new condo, new daycare, you've got to install and check every year your fire systems, your life safety systems. Well, Safety Systems not only installs it, not only monitors it, but they also can do those yearly checks. They do it all. Safety Systems. Call VFL JJ Surlis and his team this week. All right, if the Big Ten did something akin to what we just showed you in that last segment, they would have the SEC boxed in, and here would be the best options for an SEC counterpunch. This is kind of like one of those deals, if the Ruskies hit you first, all you got left is like a town in Kansas. That was like my 1980s Red Dawn moment. All right, so anyway, Baylor, Clemson, Florida State, okay. Houston, we mentioned them earlier. Louisville, Memphis, I'm sure that would be a big happy moment for Tennessee. Oklahoma State, SMU, TCU, so you're just going further west. Texas Tech, UCF, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, West Virginia. It's not a great list, is it?
No.
Okay, so let's assume they just take Clemson, Florida State. They want to get into Virginia, take Virginia Tech and West Virginia. Let's put this next graphic up. All right, so basically everybody on the left stays the same. You move South Carolina over and you've added an Atlantic division with Clemson, Florida State, NC State, Virginia Tech. I think from a fan standpoint, that's great.
I was going to say, I like that.
I'd be fine with that from a fan standpoint. The problem is cash and power. That is not good for business. You are literally just a regional league and you're on one network where the other guys have sold it. So if you're Greg Sankey and the SEC, does this make Florida State and Clemson more of a target for you right now? I think all eyes are on North Carolina, Big Ten and SEC. Are you, if you're Greg Sankey, plotting at the moment to try and somehow, please win that lawsuit, Florida State? Please.
I would think so, because as you mentioned, there are not a lot of really good options out there, and there are not many teams on that list that move the needle. So yes, I would be looking at that. I'd also see if there's some other network out there that I could align myself with.
Mm-hmm. Could you, is that one where it's Netflix becomes they just got in bed with the NFL. Do they become the SEC streamer? Certainly possible.
You brought up the streaming. I'd call Netflix, Apple TV, Hulu,
Prime,
whatever I can do, and just say, what can we do, boys?
I think they should do that. Go to 9 games now, get those extra 8 games. ESPN doesn't want to pay for them. Have ESPN bid them out to Hulu or wherever. Good win for everybody.
Done. Outside of Clemson and Florida State, the list that you put up, there's not a lot out there. And now, if you were to be able to
Wake Forest?
Maybe if you were able to lure, say, this won't be popular, but if you got North Carolina and say Miami. Now, I understand Miami's already on another list with the Big Ten, but I'm trying to think, what could you do to branch off where this is ours, that is yours, and keep from that flag planting moment? That would be it. That would be it.
I keep thinking 20 is the number that both conferences have in mind. I hope I'm right about that.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm afraid that I'm not. I'm afraid it could be more like 24, but I keep hoping 20 is the right number. And if it is, I've thought about, Clemson, Florida State, 2 for the SEC. Who are the other 2?
North Carolina. Everybody says North Carolina is more valuable than anybody outside Notre Dame.
And I think that's true. And then do you bring Duke with them or anything like that?
Or NC State.
Or NC State.
Yeah.
I love the North Carolina. I don't know how much I love North Carolina and Duke maybe being handcuffed together like Texas and Oklahoma just were together. Be great for basketball, but as you told me last week, football's king.
Well, and they talked about the fact that we mentioned this on the show a few weeks ago. Cal and UCLA. UCLA left Cal behind. They're part of the same school board out there, so now they're having to pay Calimony. UCLA is having to give $10 million a year back to Cal, which they weren't counting on when they left. And after that, there was a move in the state of North Carolina in the legislature over there, I don't know where it went, trying to tie North Carolina and NC State together. So, if you wound up with Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, NC State, I think there's value there. I think it's, those are the best of that. There's talk they want to get into Virginia. I would rather have Virginia Tech than Virginia, but Virginia is the school that people want. Do you think the SEC should be plotting, Josh?
Yes, I think from the fan standpoint, if you're bringing in some of those ACC schools, the 4 you just mentioned, it'd be easy to just rip on them like you already do as ACC members, just as Atlantic Division members maybe in the league. I think a big deal if they're planning, okay, what schools, how many, is it 4? Are we going 16 to 20? the big conversation with that has to be what TV is coming with that. And so the previous segment was about the Big Ten going the NFL route. That needs to be the SEC's mindset from a television standpoint. The NFL has said, okay, we're going to throw a few games on Peacock. We're doing the Netflix thing now.
Yeah.
And
Prime already.
Prime has already happened on Thursday night games, and fans complain, but fans figure out ways to get on there so they can see. And if you have a product that is going there, you'll have enough fans that I think that would go there, and it'd be a new way to find money that they're, I think, still searching for compared to what the Big Ten has done recently with their different TV options.
I drew this as though the SEC is at a bit of a disadvantage. I think they are. Not from a talent perspective, not from better team perspective, not from fan perspective. I still think, I don't like Texas and Oklahoma being in, but you're still regional, whereas the Big Ten is nonsensical in what it is. However, because it's nonsensical, I feel like they're better positioned with their 3 networks to go out. If this thing is to get huge, I think they've got a leg up on you on the hugeness. I think they get an easier path to huge. Does anybody else feel that way, or do you think that SEC's better than the Big Ten right now?
No, I agree with you, but here's the other part of that too. If you're the ESPN, ABC, and you got the SEC, why are you going to throw a whole lot more money at them? What's their bargaining chip to go somewhere else?
Right.
So they may not pay you a whole lot more money if you expand to 20.
Which is why you'd need to, and the problem is you've given all your rights to ESPN, so if you want to go do anything with a streamer, ESPN has to say okay to it.
Yeah, and they're making the move with Turner with the playoff, right? So maybe you can talk ESPN to, hey, you need a little help here too. Why don't we help each other?
Which, for the old timers out there, and you, Turner, WTBS, used to be the weekly home of an SEC game. They used to have that before it became JP and Lincoln Financial. WTBS used to have a weekly SEC game. So
I would say all this discussion is why I'm glad, even if it's maybe I'm naive in thinking that they're actually thinking of the best for all parties on some level. I don't think they really are, but on some level maybe they are. But the SEC Big Ten kind of coalition is the first time we've actually had somebody worry about the big picture. Everything else has been totally selfish. I'm hopeful that at least they're thinking about what this is going to do to the whole product of college sports.
another good tease, Ryan, because if they are, that means you're probably looking at the two of them creating some sort of super league together. Everybody talks about a super league. What would a super league look like, and could it actually happen? Everybody seems to think it would be just snap of the fingers, we're going to go to this. Well, let's take a look at this and see if it could happen. Come on back.